Good evening, everyone. Thank you for assembling on such notice. We are here today to address a critical threat to our operational stability. Over the past 6 months, our voluntary resignation have jumped by 25%. This loss of talent has triggered a several domino effect across the company, leaving our remaining staff burnout and deeply overwhelmed by excessive workload. This meeting has one strict mandate. We are here to diagnose and fix the root cause of this problem, not to throw temporary band aid on it. We need to identify exactly where our employees are feeling frustrated, improve their work-life balance, and clear the path for their career growth. By the end of this session, we will finalize a formal retention action plan with a firm target by reducing our turnover rate by 15% within the next 6 months. Shamil, before we begin, please ensure attendance is formally recorded and note that this session is strictly confidential due to internal financial restriction and policy change we will be discussing.
Attendance have been formally logged and all participants are present. I have marked this session as strictly confidential in the official repository. The minute of meetings will trace every directive directly to its designated owner and timeline. We are ready to proceed.
Excellent. Priya, as our HR manager, please lay out the baseline data and financial impact for the committee.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. To run our discussion in reality, the data shows that replacing just one mid-level staff member is currently costing us around 1.5 times their annual salary. So this takes into account requirement, urgency phase prolonged, onboarding periods, and a massive drop in productivity while full streets maintained. So this attrition is actively draining our corporate budget and causing server delays on the critical project milestones. So it is clear that retaining our existing talent is our most financially relevant path forward. So Mr. Amirul, how is the impacting our broader financial forecasting?
Okay, thanks, Priya. To put in bluntly, the financial leak is real. The budget I originally set aside a participant expenditure and strategic growth is being heavily diluted by this constant replacement costs. So if we don't plug this gap and stabilize our talent retention within the next 6 months, our profit margin for the second half of the year are going to contract significantly. From a fiscal standpoint, investing in our people right now is far smarter than letting this budget drain continue.
Thank you, Amirul. The number make it clear and inaction is not an option. Now let's look at the operational reality on the ground. When people leave, their responsibility case on those who stay. Shamil, please log this diagnosis phase carefully as we map the departmental bottleneck. Afif, as our operation executive, walk us through how this workload shift is impacting your team.
Mr. Lim, to be entirely honest, my team is running on empty. When our senior executives resigned last month, their daily tracking and reporting duties fell entirely on the remaining staff. Right now, people are regularly staying back until 9 p.m. just to manage a routine paperwork. Because we are so short-handed, we are stuck in constant cycle of firefighting. The core friction point is invisible workload. Our people are effectively handling two roles but only feeling recognized for once. If we don't offer them immediately operational relief, I am deeply concerned we will see more resignation before the month ends.
I'm seeing this exact same pattern in distribution, Afif, and logistics. When a supervisor exists, the bottleneck hit the warehouse floor instantly. My remaining coordinator are completely overwhelmed trying to manage cross-border custom documentation and carrier schedule at the same time. The prolonged stress is starting to cause to cause human error, which is directly delay our outbound shipment. The team feels trapped because our shipment volume hasn't slowed down, but our manpower has cut down significantly. We desperately need temporarily operational breathing room.
The operation strain is highly concerning. If our internal engine is struggling, it will inevitably impact our market delivery, revenue, and product standard. Alif, how is the internal instability affecting our marketing execution?
It is a several capping out agility. Miss Lim, marketing relies having a creative momentum because we have been lost a key digital asset specialist. My remain team is spending half their day fixing minor operational glitch and chasing vendor instead of executing strategy. Our Q2 campaign rollouts are already delayed by 3 weeks. When the team is burnt out, creativity suffer and we end up producing rush content. Furthermore, our external vendor are noticing the high turnover because the point of contact keep changing, which hurt our corporate credibility.
I can back up Alif on the client perspective. In the sales, client relationship consistency is everything. When the key account keep changing hands because account manager resign, our client get incredible frustrated having to re-explain their business needs to face new phase. We have actually seen a noticeable dip in our client retention rates this past quarter. My remaining sales executives are stretched, so team just trying to maintain existing relationship that they have zero capacity to hunt for new business leads. We are missing targets simply because of lack stable manpower to convert incoming market demand.
It is a similar story in research and development, Kiran. Developing high quality products require deep institutional knowledge. When a senior developer or designer leaves, months of vital unwritten project context live with them. The remaining developers are struggling to decipher unfinished codes and blueprints while trying to force themselves to hit our original product launch timelines. Rushing development cycles to compensate for a lack of staff is incredibly dangerous way to innovate. My team feels stuck in a high-stress survival loop.
And that is exactly where the risk compounds, Kandan. As quality assurance, I am the final gatekeeper, and I must warn this committee that our risk of major quality failure right now is dangerously high. Because product development and operation are rushing to hit deadlines with their fewer people, the number of defects and compliance anomalies entering the quality assurance pipeline has doubled. My inspectors are working excessive overtime to catch these errors, creating a massive secondary bottleneck. We cannot afford to compromise on the quality standards. If a defective batch leaves our faculty, and the financial and the legal penalties will make our current replacement costs look minor, we must address the group capacity issue.
Thank you for all this vital, candid feedback. This link between employee and burnout, budget drain, and quality risks are undeniable. We must pivot to solution immediately. Let's build a structured 30, 60, and 90 days metrics for our retention action plan to hit our 15% reduction goal. Amirul, please look at funding immediately relief.
To Ms. Lim, while a blanket rise across the board is not feasible tomorrow. The quality risks outlined by Akash require immediate funding. I can get our 50,000 ringgit from our frozen recruitment agency budget to fund immediate contract or freelance support for operation and distribution. This will inject temporary hands into the system within the next 30 days to absorb routine paperwork and give the core staff room to breathe.
There would be a massive relief, Mr. Amirul. If finance clears that contract budgets, my 30 days priority will be onboarding 2 temporary clerks to lift the manual data entry burden of my senior teams. For the 60-day marks, I will implement a stop, starts, continue frameworks. We will stop doing manual daily reporting and move to the automated weekly dashboard to save valuable hours.
I will align with that, Afif. For my 30-day action, I will map out a clear cross-training schedule so no single coordinator is a single point of failure for our logistic group. For the 60-day plan, I want to work with Priya to institute a formal stay interview process for our warehouse in supervisors so we can resolve their frustration before they hand in a resignation letter.
On the marketing side, for our 30-day wins, I am implementing strict no email, no ping policy after 7 p.m. to establish clear work-life boundaries. My team need to disconnect to recharge. For the 60 to 90-day window, I need HR help to design clear career path guidelines. Our creative staff need to see a path to advancement with the company so they don't feel they have to leave to get the title change or a pay bump.
I echo Alif's point on career growth. For product development 60-day goals, I want to establish a technical mentorship track. Even if we cannot offer immediate Macy's raise, we can sponsor our mid-level engineers for high-value professional certifications. It proves we are actively investing in the long-term professional growth, which build deep loyalty.
To help fund these long-term retention initiatives, my 30-day action is to restructure our sales commission timelines. We will introduce our short-term milestone-based retention bonus for account managers who are successful, stabilize, and retain our top-tier client over the next 6 months. If they keep our core revenue secure during that staffing crunch, they should see the direct financial upside.
For the quality assurance, my 30-day action is to establish a quality gate buffer. I will work with Alif and Kanan to realistically extend our internal lead times by 10% for the next 2 months. This takes the penny out of the system, allows the remaining staff to do the things right the first time, and they reduce the burnout caused by a constant pre-work.
This is an excellent actionable framework. Before I formalize the final ownership list, Shamil, please read back the exact directive, action, owner, and timeline you have captured for the official record.
Thank you, Ms. Lim. I have recorded the 30, 60, 90 days retention metric with implicit accountability as follows. First, immediate 7-day windows. Mr. Amirul, Finance, and Ms. Priya, HR, to authorize the 50,000 budget reallocation for contract support and draft the adjusted sales commission policy. Second, 30-day quick wins, immediate relief. Mr. Afif, operation, to onboard 2 temporary administrative clerks. Mr. Danish, distribution, to finalize the warehouse cross-training schedule. Next, Mr. Alif, marketing, to implement the enforce the 7 p.m. no ping digital boundaries. Mr. Kiraraj, sale, to activate the short-term client stabilization commission track. Lastly, Mr. Akash, QA, to deploy the 10% extended internal lead time buffer. Third, 60 to 90 days deliverables, systemic changes. Mr. Afif, to shift operation to automated weekly dashboard, halting daily manual reports. Mr. Danish and Ms. Priya, to launch the warehouse supervisor stay interview. And lastly, Mr. Alif, Mr. Kanan, and Ms. Priya, to submit the formalized technical mentorship and career pathing framework. All tasks have been tied to their respective heads with a baseline target of achieving a 15% reduction in voluntary turnover over the next 6 months. I will have the final minutes of meeting finalized for the signature shortly.
Outstanding precision, Shamil. Thank you. Let's proceed on this basic. Priya, please ensure your team closely monitor our voluntary turnover figure month over month against our 15% target. Shamil will distribute the official minute of meeting and action item tracker by this afternoon. I expect him to log our follow-up status review for exactly 14 days from today in all your calendar. Thank you, team. Let's protect our people, steady our operation, and move forward.